WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. Thank you for tuning to WVTC Radio Detroit and the Community Bell Show with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner, Edna Bell. Stay tuned for insightful information Detroiters will find valuable. Text a friend and tell them to watch with you for news you can use. And now, your host, Edna Bell.
Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. I am so glad to have you with me this afternoon. It is Monday, the 24th of May, and it's a lovely Monday. And as I'm sure all of you know, this past weekend was an absolutely lovely weekend. Nice and warm, and a little rain, but that's okay. But it was a nice and warm weekend, and we had a lovely outdoor time. For those of you who tried to go to the aisle, you know what on Saturday and Sunday was jam-packed. In fact, the police had to close the island off early. On Sunday, it was so packed. But thanks be to God, we've got great weather, we've got great people, and we're just happy to have you with us today. We are going to be talking about something very special that I love. We're going to be talking about golf. Those of you who know me know that I started playing golf late in life, got hooked right away. It's a one. I had friends who were playing early, 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 and I was the only one who was not playing golf. I mean, they were out there playing, and I talked about them something awful because they were out in the hot sun chasing that little white ball. And I was just saying, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be out there. And lo and behold, I am the one out there now chasing the little white ball in the hot sun, and I love it. It's a great game. It's a great game for life. You can play it as long as you can walk, and some people play it who can't walk. They have special facilities, apparatuses, so they can play. But I'm just pleased that I was able to get involved with the game, even though it was late. I still got involved and made some absolutely wonderful lifelong friends from the golf course. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit today. But before we get to that, we're going to go to my favorite subject, and you all know what that is, the census. And for those of you who didn't hear the show a few weeks ago, when I talked about the census as they released the early census information, and we talked about which states got additional representatives and which states lost and how much they lost by and so on. Well, unfortunately, Michigan is one of those states who is going to lose as congressperson because our numbers did not meet the criteria to keep what we had or to gain a seat. So we are going to lose a seat, even though we didn't lose population. We gained a thousand people in population. We didn't gain as much as some areas gained. For instance, the areas that gained population were in the South and in the West. Those grew by large, large numbers. The states that gained the most population were Texas, Florida, who gained probably more than 4 million people. The Northeast and the Midwest only gained about 2.3 million, but it wasn't enough to overcome some of the regions that grew so greatly. The ones that gained an awful lot: Utah, North Dakota, Texas, Florida, and Idaho. Isn't that interesting? But those states gained lots and lots, and they will probably gain a U.S. congressperson because of those things. So what we have to do is make sure in future years, and again for another 10 years, that we count that Michigan did not count everybody. Even though we gained a few thousand seats, a few thousand people, I am just sure we did not count everybody. So that's census information. You hear more from me about the census as more information comes out, and it gets to be more particular to our state. We don't have the state numbers and regions and so on yet. We just have total. We don't have how the internal numbers fill out for each state. But Florida and California, Utah, Texas, I'm sorry, not California, Florida, Texas, Idaho, North Dakota, and Utah gain the greatest as it relates to the number of people. So that's, my favorite subject. That's the census. I'll have more about that. And I'll talk next time about women business owners and which states have the largest number of women business owners. You're probably going to be surprised at that. So wait on that information for next time. We are going to have some interesting information for you on our next show that will be on June the 7th. We won't have a show next week because next week is a holiday Monday. And so the station has decided we will not broadcast on the holiday. So we won't have a show on next Monday. We will not do that until the following Monday, which will be June the 7th. And we'll have some really, really good information for parents, for children, as it relates to schools. We'll have a young lady on the show who went to school with my daughters. Her name is Terry Berry, and she is in charge of a volunteer organization, a nonprofit volunteer organization at Cass Technical High School. And she'll have the president of the Cass Technical High School PTA with her. And they're going to talk about information that is pertinent to every school and every child. And it will have to do with children and information about schools and testing and just what parents need to do. And so we'll have that on June the 7th. That will be Terry Berry and her colleague, and they'll be on to talk to us about information that people will want to know. Now, as we go on our show today, let me talk more about my favorite subject, and that's golf, of course. I belong to a group called the Tsat organization. The Tsat is a group of women who play golf. It is probably one of the oldest Black women golf groups in the nation. It was formed, we celebrated our 40th anniversary 2 years ago, and we had some of our founding members there. And they are in their 80s, late 80s and 90s, and four of them were there. And we are just thrilled that they were able to be with us when we celebrated our 40th anniversary. It was a great, great celebration. We had a golf tournament at the Eagle Crest Golf Course in Ypsilanti. It's a great golf course. If you ever get a chance to play it, you should do that. But we had a great time with those ladies. They graced us with their presence, and we, gave them some thought to start a golf club, Black Women's Golf Club. And we play on Saturdays in the summertime. There are about 22 members to our golf club. We play competitive and for pleasure, so we do a little bit of both. But it's such a great organization to be a part of. The ladies are all great ladies. They come from all walks of life. We have attorneys, we have doctors, we have dentists, we have some of everybody. And so it's a pleasure to be with those ladies. And so what you're going to hear today is from the president of the TSET organization. And we're just glad to have her with us. We have with us attorney Delicia Coleman Taylor. She's going to talk about TSET and golf and all sorts of things related to golf and ladies and children. Delicia, thank you so much for joining us. We are
Thank you
so
for
happy to
having
have
me.
you.
I am so glad to be here.
Absolutely. And I am so glad your schedule permitted you to join us today. So I just said a little bit about the golf group, but I want you to tell us all about it. But first of all, let me have you introduce yourself, Attorney Delicia Taylor Coleman.
Hi, Edna,
You're on.
and
Talk.
can you hear me? Can you guys
Hear you?
can you
Yes,
guys hear me?
we hear you
Okay.
and see you. Yes.
Thank you. My name is Delicia Taylor Coleman, and I am an attorney. I've been practicing 25 years in the metropolitan Detroit area, primarily in criminal defense, but a solo practitioner. And I do apologize for any background noise. I am currently guardian of two infant twins, so they love to talk when I get on the phone. But do a wide variety of law and have done for 25 years. This year, I also joined being the 2021 TSET member president. And I don't know, I didn't catch if Edna, who is our Sergeant of Arms, actually told you, but we have been a organization since 1979. Did you go into the history or?
I not all of it. I was saving that for you and those wonderful babies. That's okay. Babies will be babies. They're 11-month-old twins, everybody. So just hang in there.
Yes, please. And I do apologize. Um, well, just to talk about TSET, it's an organization of women
Yes.
started in 1979, so it's over 40 years old at this point, with a wide variety of women. And we play golf from April to August in a league, in a league tournament. Well, not tournament, but competitive, but fun. Um, I don't know if you want to say guide or guidelines, but since COVID, we haven't done the competitive just because we didn't know who or where we would be playing. But for the last 40 years, all the members would come together and we'd pick different courses, go out and play. And at the end of the year, we would have our ceremonial outing where we would give away the prizes for those that actually competed during the year. But the main thing about TSAT is Black women coming together, not just for the game of golf, but also for the community. For
Absolutely.
specifically for our youth. We have a scholarship that we give away because of the COVID. We did give one in 20, but without having the opportunity and the children, not the youth, not being in school, we weren't able to get the information out to for 2021, but we anticipate and look forward and to giving that scholarship back in 2022. Typically, that scholarship is about $1,500, so it's not an insignificant amount, and we are very pleased and privileged to do that. And occasionally, we've even given away 2 in a year. As stated, we do have some founding members still alive in their 90s, and that's an amazing thing to be able to say, especially as Black women playing golf. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but it is typically a white man's sport. Tiger Woods has brought color to it,
Yes.
and even before Tiger Woods, TSAT was there, and we participate and contribute and build up other organizations like Midnight Golf. For the last few years, our scholarship recipients have been students of Midnight Golf Program, which is another organization that
Talk
focuses
about
on.
midnight golf. Yes.
Yes, I'm also a member
Talk
of
about
Midnight
midnight
Golf.
golf and when it was established. Yes.
That
See, tell
this
us
is
about midnight golf and when it was established and what it
that
does and when it meets and so on.
That is a program that meets twice a week for 3 hours a day. It was established by Renee Fluker, who was a social worker and then became director of Midnight Golf. It is a 501(c) program that solely focuses on mentorship and teaching our high school seniors use foot every other sport, golf, and etiquette, but not just etiquette on the course, etiquette in life. So they're members just like TSAT. While TSAT is a woman-only organization, Midnight Golf's mentors are male, female, of all backgrounds, of all races, and we come together as mentors, and I've been a mentor for 7 years this year, to provide that mentorship to the children. And its focus is high school seniors, making sure they get into colleges, but not just get in, but stay. And so the mentorship is key to making sure that they have somebody to reach back to and
Yes,
say,
that's so
hey, this is what's going on. This is what I need help with. And Midnight Golf supplies all of that. It's an amazing program. And like I said, we are privileged to
yes.
say that some of our recent scholarship recipients came through that program, not in just for the sake of transparency. I didn't have anything to do with the selection, even though I'm a mentor at Midnight Golf and president of TSET. But we put that scholarship information out for all high school students. Those that we like to focus on those that have an interest in golf and would like to go further in that sport, because if you look on TV, it's a big business and we need to be a part of that. And we're focusing as
Absolutely.
TSET and Midnight
Absolutely.
Golf members on making sure that we are represented and enjoying the play of golf.
What are the requirements for the scholarship?
For our TSET scholarship, it is a 3.0. In the past, we have we have adjusted it. We want to celebrate those that have worked hard, but we don't want to eliminate individuals that through no fault of their own, they couldn't focus as much or as hard as they wanted to in regards to their education. So while we like to say it starts at 3 point, we have provided scholarship to those with grade point averages less than that. You have to be a high school senior. You have to be a female. And you have to have an interest in golf. And when we say an interest in golf, not just saying, well, I want this scholarship, so I'm going to say I like golf. No, we need actual references that say you play, or that you've taken lessons, or that that you've at least taken lessons, or you play with your family, and that you will continue your golf game, not just to get the scholarship, like I said, but in the future, because this is a long-term prospect. We want to be able to mentor and go back to our scholarship recipients and say, hey, we remember when she was, got her first scholarship. Look at her now. She's on the LPGA tour. And that's the Ladies Professional Golf Association tour. And it's an amazing and wonderful thing. And we are not represented as we should be in that. So
no, we are
that's
not.
One of the things we're looking to foster,
Absolutely.
to make sure.
And I think people don't recognize how expensive it can be to play golf for young people, particularly in some of the urban settings. And we'd like to help those young ladies, because there are those young ladies who grow up in private golf clubs and have all sorts of advantages of coaches and psychological coaches and all sorts of other advantages that some of our urban children don't have. And so what the Tsat and Midnight Golf try to do is kind of help them along, give them some extra, because there are lots of scholarships from universities also for golf students, of young people who play golf. And sometimes our urban children don't even know about those and don't get an opportunity to take advantage of those scholarships, or sometimes they go wanting just because our kids don't know about them.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that both programs are just very, very active in making sure that the information, and just like you in your radio program, getting it out, because a big part of golf is networking.
Yes.
It's not just going out and playing and not making, just making, having fun. It's about business too.
Absolutely.
Many deals are made on the golf course. And if you're
tell
not there, you
Yes.
can't make that deal. You can't be a part of that, that possible income generating activity. So
Absolutely.
just, having access, being aware, ignorance is no excuse these days.
It really isn't. No,
if you look it up, it's there.
Yes, absolutely. And some of the universities, for instance, Florida A&M, who has a great business college, require their students who are in the business program to either play golf or tennis. They can choose which one they want, but they must take one of those sports. And so they are training them that the deals really are made on the golf course and at the tennis course and at those country clubs that we want our kids to be a part of.
Exactly. And you can start even as a caddy.
Yes.
TPC golf course is a private golf club, has openings for caddies right now. So just
I'm glad you said that. My grandson is a caddy now, and we're trying to get him closer to home because he's over at the Detroit club in Grosse Pointe, but we'd like him to be closer to home. So TPC has one that's much closer to where he lives.
Yes.
I will make sure. Do you know who the contact is over there?
Say it again.
Do you know who the contact is at the TPC?
I do have it. I'm going to have to get it to you offline, but I do have all of the information, and I'm a member there also. So would put in a reference or whatever is needed. So they are looking to diversify in Dearborn, and excellent. So we want to be a part of that.
He would love that. He would be great. And as I say, he lives over in Roseville Park. So TPC Dearborn is a lot closer to Grosse Pointe for him. That would be great. So we'll get that offline. But we'll stop talking about my grandkids because I can talk about the grandkids all day long, but I won't do that today. But let's talk about midnight golf again. How did they get the name Midnight Golf?
Well, as most people say, you play midnight. You play golf at midnight. It's a hook. I mean, it's something to get people talking, to inquiring about it. Because initially, Renee, when she started it, Renee Fluker, people didn't know anything about golf, and it's been 20 years.
Yes.
And that's in 20 years. 20 years ago, the black community, disadvantaged. Our community, bottom line, didn't know about golf, and her son wanted to play and didn't have access. So she got out there, beat the pavement to get sponsors, and have grown every year to the point where Midnight Golf receives grants, has received a grant from Rocket Mortgage, has received grants from just all over to support the program and the growth. One of the big things before the pandemic is we took the high school seniors on a senior tour, college tour. Mm-hmm. And we were for a week. And that's over 200 students and the mentors going to various colleges where even on the tour, it happens in April every year, except for last year for the pandemic. Uh-huh. They were accepting students into the colleges. So wow. Even after some of the cutoffs through our program at Midnight Golf, they were applying on the tour and being accepted. So, like I said, one of the big things is getting our kids the knowledge and information of golf, but also the tools to succeed all around in life. And that's a college education. That's the networking program. That's the mentorship that for the rest of your life, you'll be able to call these mentors and, hey, I got a situation here. And just like with Tsat, doctors, lawyers, financial consultants, airplane pilot.
Yes, we've got a variety of people.
Everything. So it's an amazing program. Look for it. The applications come out in September. The program starts in October and goes till May.
And what are the requirements for the Midnight Golf scholarship?
You have to be a high school senior.
Okay. Any other scholastic requirements? Just a high school senior?
To get into the Midnight Golf program? Yes.
Yes.
And a part of Midnight Golf, amazing part of Midnight Golf is they have sponsored scholarships, which ours contribute to it, where they have given over $500,000 in a year in different scholarships that are donated to Midnight Golf for the students to apply to. And then we give SAT training. We give essay writing training. We give things to make sure that you're prepared or able to get into college and stay and graduate. And their rate for the alumni that graduate from college is over 70%.
Wow. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. How often does Midnight Golf meet?
There's two sections, the Monday, Wednesday section and the Tuesday, Thursday section. And it's 200 students apiece. No, it's 200 students total. And you meet from 5:30 to 8.
And where do they meet?
Monday and Wednesday or Tuesday and Thursday. Meet at Mary Grove College. We have training at Beechwood Golf. Well, it's no longer a course, but the Beechwood
golf training
driving. Driving range is where the training for the golf occurs. And so one night we have what's called tea time, where we talk about specific areas, and then the other night is designated for the golf training.
That is such a wonderful, wonderful program. Now, talk a little bit about the other kinds of things children can do, because you don't just play golf in the golf community. There are thousands of other jobs that you can do other than playing golf. Talk about some of those jobs that might be available to young people who want to enter the field of golf.
Well, there's always physical therapy, there's training, because in any sport, and contrary to popular belief, golf is a sport and
Mm-hmm.
very stressful on your
Mm-hmm.
body. If you look at Tiger Woods and some of the other professionals, the injuries that they incur, the training that they have to do, and just like with anything, to be the best, you have to put in the work. But there's golf professionals, there's people that train, there's people that do physical therapy, there's people that coordinate the golf tours. So every event, there's so much planning that goes into it. So you have people that go to school for management, for hospitality, those kind of things. You can be in the golf, you can be an attorney. It's called sports law. But there are a number of positions that you can participate in the game of golf and not just be a player.
And
So
maintaining those golf courses is the other piece. It's
exactly,
huge.
huge.
Maintaining the courses themselves, running the management of the courses,
Management of the courses, of
equipment.
the, exactly, all of that. And it's just a matter of becoming aware and training, because
Exactly.
until you know about it, you don't know if it's something that you like or would do. So
Hmm.
bringing that information, and we thank you, uh, Edna, for bringing this information out there, because we have a website and a Facebook, and we were making up to date changes for it, but it's just we're just not getting the information out as fast as we
Absolutely.
need to.
And knowledge is so powerful. Just knowing what's available to you, and
Exactly.
knowing someone who you can talk to about that information is just so powerful. And oftentimes our young people don't have that opportunity. And so we're going to keep talking about it until we can get to maybe 90% of our kids knowing about it. Another piece is my concern is our schools don't have golf programs. And it's just one of
No,
my pet peeves. We don't have one school in Detroit that has a golf program. That is amazing to me.
it makes no sense. And
No.
literally every single other area in metropolitan Detroit area has a golf program. Every other city besides Detroit, well, besides Highland Park,
Mhm.
and Harper Woods, but high schools have golf programs. And that's
Yes.
because of networking. That's because of people wanting their kids to have the access and the tools to do the things that they want them to do. And we have the means in the city of Detroit. We have enough golfers, and specifically black golfers,
Yes.
to focus and start a program at each, or at least at the primary schools. The
And not
schools with
only
the
that,
biggest
yes.
population, there's
Yes.
no excuse for not
None.
having a golf program.
And for a city to have golf courses that it manages, we have 3 golf courses that belong to the city of Detroit.
Yes.
To not have any golf, I mean, even the recreation department could have a golf team.
Yeah.
And so that is certainly something that
We need to
we're
focus
gonna
on.
have to get on. We're gonna have to focus on that. This time next year, we're gonna make sure that somebody has a golf team. I don't know
That
who or
makes
which
sense,
recreation center,
because
but somebody's gonna have a golf team out of Detroit next year.
and I will join in on that mission, because like I said, it's crucial. You're
Yes.
missing out on so many possibilities, opportunities, because we don't have the training. But curiously enough, previously, um, well, I'm from California originally, born in California, raised in Seattle. My mom said back in California, back in the 50s, 60s, her high school had a golf program for them.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that was a West Coast thing, but it's not like it hasn't happened. Cass had a
Exactly.
golf program,
Cass had a golf program, a great golf program.
great
And
golf
it
program, but
can't be
just not getting.
based on a person.
No,
Because the reason that the golf program isn't there anymore is because the person who was running it isn't there. Well, that's not acceptable.
nope. We have got to have a whole community. It takes a village for
Absolutely.
anything to thrive. And
Absolutely.
so we have to be that village. And I'm going to take on that mantle with you
Great.
and some other leaders in the golf community to make sure we can say, look, hey, we did this, and it's continuing and it's growing, and it's making sure that all of our youth have the opportunities that they need in this aspect, because it's big business.
It's big business, it's big money, it's big opportunity for young people to get involved. I mean, football, basketball, baseball are great, but golf is great also. And we don't need to just concentrate on those three sports. We need to make sure that there's, and what really gets me is that they have soccer teams.
Yeah.
Now, how can you have a soccer team and not have a golf team? They even have, there's another sport, and
Tennis,
the one with tennis, what's the one, other one with the big racket? And I can't think of it
the
right now.
lacrosse.
Lacrosse. You got a lacrosse team at Cass, you don't have a golf team? Something's wrong with that picture.
That is fundamentally wrong.
Yes, something's
And,
wrong
and
with
that
that.
also is a part of most of the sports focus on men.
Yes,
So we as women need to
yes,
make sure that our young women are
yes.
represented and given these opportunities, because lacrosse, soccer, and while there's,
Hmm.
a female soccer, I don't know if Cass has a female soccer team, but most of
No,
the sports focus on men's sports. We
exactly,
need to make sure we're focusing on our young women. So,
exactly.
um,
So
but
I think
everybody
that's our
needs to be playing
mission
golf.
our mission for the next year. Then, Alicia,
That'll
we're gonna
work.
we're gonna have some golf teams next year.
We are going. That
We're
is
going to do that.
that is our yeah.
So that's our mission. And for all of those of you out there listening, we're going to have a golf team. So get ready. It's going to
One
be
way or
golf
another, it's coming.
one way or another. We're going to have a golf team. I can't imagine um, all these other areas around us having golf teams and us not being able to participate, and our children not being able to participate and compete and learn and grow. So that's something that we are all going to get involved with. Tell us how the TSET ladies, how do you become a member of the TSET organization?
Well, we have our guidelines and constitution. You have to play with the group at least 3 times, and then you're sponsored. One of the members sponsors you. You fill out an application, and essentially you're voted on, because a big part, and we've gotten away from it. A big part of this is fellowship and fun. And so
Mm-hmm.
we want people that want to play, want to be in a community of women that have the same ideas of playing golf, fellowshipping, being mentors for the youth, those kind of things. So you
And
play.
supporters of other women is a
Exact,
big part of
very
that.
key,
Supporters of
very
other
key.
women, yes.
And if you know that you're the type of woman that wants to be um, not in fun and fellowship, our TSET is not for you, because we
Exactly.
don't have any tolerance for trouble and headache. We're not out here. We're out here to have fun and fellowship. So
Exactly. Exactly.
look
We
for us.
absolutely. It's a great group, everyone listening. You will have fun with T-sets. You'll be frustrated playing golf sometimes, just because golf is a frustrating game sometimes. But at the end of the day, when you're done playing that 18, you'll say, oh, that was a great day. It's okay. I'll come back next time and I'll do a lot better. But just know that golf can be frustrating, and we have all been there. But so what? That's the name of the game. Well, Delicia, thank you so much for joining me today. I am just so glad you were able to come on and talk about TSET and midnight golf, and just what importance it is to our young people that they become aware of all the things that golf can offer, how they can grow, how they can learn. how they can educate themselves. Caddies get big scholarships, everyone. Even if you don't want to play, you
Yeah.
can be a caddy
And you
and,
get
and
a
make money.
professional, you get
Yes.
10% of what they win.
Yeah, I was just
So
gonna say you can become a millionaire as a caddy. You get the right person. Think about Tiger Woods and how much money he has made. This caddy is now a millionaire because Tiger is a multi-millionaire. He got 10% of everything Tiger made. And you know how much money Tiger has. Can you imagine? There are all sorts of advantages to becoming a member of the golf community,
and
learning
you
the golf community.
and you can be a PGA tour player and be a millionaire without ever
Yes,
winning any of the major championships. If you just
absolutely.
place,
Yes, yes,
you're likely to win $100,000 just
mhm,
placing in the top 10.
yes.
So
There's a young man. His name is Harold Varner III, who is the other young black guy on the tour, along with Cameron Champ, who is the other black. The three of them now, and they have. I think Harold has won one. Cameron has won one. But they come in, they don't win all the time. They win rarely, but they place in the top 10, the top 25, and they are millionaires
yeah,
because they get paid for that.
yeah,
Every time they play, if they place, they get paid lots of money. We're not talking about little dollars, everybody. We're talking about 80, 90, 100,000 plus dollars each time they play and place in a location in 10th spot, 25th spot. They get paid. So there are dollars to be made as you enjoy yourself and travel all over the world.
and
Yeah.
that's a part of it also. These
Yes.
things are paid for you. So
Yes.
yeah, it's a very lucrative sport, more so than people could ever even imagine.
Yes. Yes. So we just want to get the word out to everybody. Our young people, start them early, get them ready so that they have the opportunity to succeed in whatever they want to do. But this is just one of those other opportunities to help them do that. And if golf isn't what they want to do as a business, they can do a whole lot of business on the golf course and
A
in the golf
lot of
clubhouse.
business, very, very good business.
Yes.
And just
Yes.
quickly,
Uh-huh.
first tee. While Midnight Golf focuses on high school seniors, and so does Tsat Scholarship,
Mhm.
First Tee, and there's a number of programs. Hartford Church had a golf program out of
Yes.
Rouge Golf Course. There are a number of programs that get children, young children, started. So,
Yes.
moms and dads, as you're listening, you don't have to wait for them to be a senior. Uh,
Absolutely. As a matter of
look,
fact, my
Google.
grandkids went to Hollywood Golf, started by Selena Johnson. And so that's their first experience. And she does a great program with those babies. And so there's lots of programs out there that we need to support and make sure that the young people have an opportunity to get to them. So thank you again so much. Any closing comments?
I just want to thank you for having me here. Thank Midnight Golf. Thank TSET because it's rounding out and giving me an opportunity to share and express and be with women of like minds. Because as women, it sometimes gets difficult that
Yes.
we don't support each other, and these programs are just the epitome of all that's beautiful in supporting Black women and children. And I just want to thank you. Get involved, not just for the money, but for the fun, for the fellowship, for the networking. Play golf.
And you can play until you get old, everybody, as long as you can
We have
play
a
until you
member
get old.
named Lucille who comes out regularly, kicks butt, and takes names.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's, and I don't, let me just say she's over 70
Yes.
and she plays the game and plays it well. So everybody can.
A wonderful thing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for being on the show. Thank you, listening audience, for being with us today. We will see you back on June the 7th. We won't be broadcasting next week because that's a holiday, but we will see you on June the 7th when we'll hear from the Cast Tech PTA and volunteer organization, and we're going to talk to them about golf.
So I'm going to sign back in to make sure that I'm a part of
Okay.
that conversation.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody, have a great holiday. We're signing off. We'll see you on June the 7th. Take care. Be safe.
Thank you for listening to Community Bell with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. This broadcast was brought to you by WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, tell a friend to tune in. We'll see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern to the Community Bell Show, right here on WVTC Radio Detroit. You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing